this fight is going on. Moving forward quickly until he was just within the cobra's race, he made a feint to one side. Immediately, the cobra struck. His great hook came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and darted in as swiftly as the cobra, biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. Here, he moved forward quickly. That fighters, you just see this. You know, the weapon of this mongoose, it is that bushy tail. And using that bushy tail, he tried to attack cobra. And the cobra, the spectacle hood, that fierce fight is going on. And two more join. Who are those other combatants? Yes, this jungle crow and the miner. Here, so as it was going on, what did this mongoose do? He made a feint to one side. Immediately, the cobra struck. So, whenever the cobra was about to attack mongoose, he made a feint. Feint means an attack at a point merely as a distraction from the real point of attack. That's the meaning of feint. Okay, what about the position of this cobra? So this cobra raised his body up to 3 feet and he was swaying and with the aim of attacking the mongoose. Then what about the mongoose? Mongoose was so clever and he raised his tail, bushy tail, and that fight was going on. It was very interesting for both this myna and this jungle crow. Okay. At the same time, the boy was also enjoying this fierce fight between them. Then what happened? Okay, so you just see what happened there. Then when the hood came, this hood of this cobra came so swiftly, so that at the point of biting the mongoose. Then what did the mongoose do? The little fellow jumped neatly and he make a bite on cobra's body. And he darted in as swiftly as the cobra. And with the same speed of the cobra, what did the mongoose do? He made a bite on the body of the snake, biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. Darting means run suddenly or rapidly. Then what happened? The moment the cobra struck, the crow and the myna hurled themselves at him, only to collide heavily in midair. Shrieking at each other, they returned to the cactus plant. On seeing this interesting fight, who all joined her? Yes, this myna and the crow. Then what did they do? They hurled themselves. What is it? Hurl? Hurl means throw something with a great force. Okay, now they hurled themselves at him. Whom? Yes, the cobra. And what's their aim? Only to collide heavily in midair. Then, was it a successful one? No. Then what did both of them do? Yes, both of them shrieking at each other. Shrieking means crying loudly. Shrieking at each other, they returned to the safety of the cactus. Okay, again they returned. Well, then a few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's cobra's back. The cobra struck again and missed. Again the mongoose sprang inside, jumped in and bit. Again the birds dived at the snake, bumped into each other instead, and returned shrieking to the safety of the captors. Now, who were in that battle? On one side, this mongoose and cobra. Now this, what happened to this cobra there? He got a bite from this mongoose and a few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's back. Glisten means shine with a sparkling light. Okay, sparkling light. And that biting mark, from that biting mark of the cobra, there oozed out some blood. Then the cobra, to save his life, what did the cobra do? He kept on biting whom? Yes, the mongoose. The cobra struck again. But what happened there? Yes, unfortunately this time also the cobra missed his target. Then what was the role of those two birds? Yes, they dived at the snake. Three of them together started attacking snake. On one side, that cobra alone. The other side, mongoose, then myna, then crow. Then what was the role of this myna and crow? Yes, both the birds dived at the snake, bumped into each other. What happened there? They bumped into each other instead and returned shrieking to the safety of the captors. Okay. Then, here, the next paragraph. First round, who are the combatants? Only snake and the mongoose. Second round, 3 rounds for this fight, fierce fight. It was very thrilling for the boy. Second round, 2 more joined, jungle crow and myna. Now, here comes the third round of fight, the most thrilling fight, that most thrilling part. The third round followed the same course as the first, but with one dramatic difference. The crow and the myna, still determined to take part in the proceedings, dived at the cobra, but this time they missed each other as well as their mark. The myna flew on and raised his paws, but the crow tried to pull up in mid-air and turned back. In the second that it took him to do this, the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. Yes, what happened? The third round, what happened? Followed the same course as the first, but with a dramatic change. And who all took part in the fight? The crow and myna took part in the fight. Then what did they do? They dived at the cobra but missed their target. Unfortunately, they missed their target. Then what did myna do? Myna flew on and reached its paws to a safer place. But what about the fate of this crow? Crow tried to pull up in mid-air and turned back. Then, what happened next? In a flash of second, the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. Now, which part of the cobra is this snout? I'll show you. Okay. Now, I'm using that snout. What did this cobra do? Yes, he whipped his head back and struck with a great force. Using his snout, he made a thud against the crow's body. That thudding, it was so fatal that what happened to this crow? Then the boy says, the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden, where after fluttering about for a while, it lay still. The myna remained on the cactus plant, very wisely refrained from interfering again. Now, the crow got a fatal thud from the cobra, and this time the crow flew how far? At 20 feet. Then what happened? Fluttering about for a while and lay still. Now that was the end of the crow. Then one more combatant, a bird. Who was that? Yes, myna. Myna is very clever. Myna, what did myna do? He flew away from that place and remained on the cactus plant. She was very wise and she simply just withdrew from interfering again, fearing that the same fate of the crow, what did the myna do? He flew away and returned to the safety of cactus. He withdrew from that combat. Now, last only two. Who are they? Yes, mongoose and the cobra. Then what happened? The cobra was weakening and the mongoose, walking fearlessly up to it, raised himself on his short legs and with lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner and even coiled itself about the mongoose, but all to no avail. The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. He then smelt along its quivering length and gripping it round the hood, dragged it into the bushes. The myna dropped cautiously to the ground, hopped about, peered into the bushes from a safe distance, and then with a shrill cry of congratulation, flew away. The last part of that fierce fight. Now, this time, the cobra, what about the condition of cobra? Was he healthy enough to fight with this mongoose? No. Now, the cobra was weakening. And then what about the reaction of this mongoose? Walking fearlessly up to this cobra, raised his body and on his short legs, and using the snout of this mongoose, what did that mongoose do? Yes, he snapped at the cobra until he got weak. Then what happened? The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner. This time too weak to move. But he writhed. What's writhed means? To twist the body with pain. Now this snake was, what was the condition of snake? He was coiling around. He was twisting around with pain. He writhed his body. And in a frightening manner. But it's of no use. What happened at last? The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. That means this mongoose got hold on this snake until it got killed. Here, the end of the snake happened. Then what did this mongoose do? Who was the champion? Yes, really. Yes, it is. This mongoose won the champion of battle. Then what did this hero do then? The champion? He then smelt along its quivering length and gripping in around the hood, dragged it into the bushes. Now that tricky Myna came to the scene. With a cry of congratulation, he hopped about, peered into the bushes from a safe distance. This time also he was so conscious about her safety. To a safe distance, he flew with a cry of congratulation. On whom? On mongoose. What for? For winning the battle. This is the thrilling experience of the boy, the fight scene. Then next paragraph, then he returned. When I had also made a cautious descent from the tree and returned to the house, I told grandfather of the fight I had seen. He was pleased that the mongoose had won. He had encouraged it to live in the garden to keep away the snakes and fed it regularly with scraps from the kitchen. He had never tried taming it because wild mongoose was more useful than a domesticated one. Now, he descended from the, he came out of this tree, returned his home. Then he shared these thrilling experiences. See, whom did he share his thrilling experience? Yes, this grandfather. And what about the response of grandfather? Yes, he was so thrilled on hearing the news that this mongoose killed the cobra. Why? Yes, this mongoose, this grandfather was so fond of this mongoose. Why? Because this mongoose keep away the rats from the field. So this grandfather was so loving towards this mongoose. And one more thing he used to do was that he feed it regularly with scraps from the kitchen. Scraps means leftovers. Okay. And he had never tried taming it. And here he said a reason also. What's that reason? Because wild mongoose, who is more useful? Yes, wild mongoose are more useful than the domesticated one. So he was very loving towards this wild mongoose. From the banyan tree, I often saw the mongoose patrolling the four corners of the garden. And once I saw him with an egg in his mouth and knew he had been in the poultry house. But he hadn't harmed the birds, and I knew grandmother would forgive him for stealing as long as he kept the snakes away from the house. Now, this at times, what did this boy chance to see? Yes, this mongoose patrolling the four corners of the garden. What's it for? Yes, to steal some eggs from the poultry house. Then what about the reaction of this grandmother? She would forgive him. Why? Yes, there's a reason behind it. Yes, what's that? Yes, as long as these mongoose are there, they were not at all afraid of these snakes. So they keep away the snakes from the house. So this grandmother, she did not take it seriously, the stealing of this eggs from this poultry. She did not take it seriously because she knew that more than that harm, there is useful aspects of this mongoose. That is, they keep away these snakes. The next few paragraphs tells about a strange experiences of the boy. First one, pleasurable experience. Second one, a thrilling experience. Now the boy is going to share with the readers a strange experience. Let's see what that strange experience is. The banyan tree was also the setting for what we were to call the strange case of the grey squirrel and the white rat. The white rat was grandfather's. He had bought it from the bazaar for 4 annas. But I would often take it with me into the roots and branches of the old tree. Banyan Tree, where it soon struck up a friendship with one of the squirrels. They would go off together on little excursions among the branches. A very interesting experience. Here, he shares that strange experience. That is the friendship between a grey squirrel and a white rat. See, a friendship between whom is that friendship? Yes, between a grey squirrel and a white rat. And where did the grandfather bring that white rat? Yes, he had bought it from the bazaar. For how many annas? Yes, 4 annas. Then, but I would often see here this wood taker, that wood used to. All these structures are used to express past habits. That means, past interrupted habits. That's why this I would often, this grandmother would forgive him. That would forgive. That would is used to talk about past interrupted habits. Got it? Okay. But I would often take it with me into the roots and branches of the old tree. And he was in the habit of taking this white rat with him on that banyan tree. And something strange happened. What was that? Can you tell me? Yes, very good. A friendship. This rat made a friendship with one of the squirrels in the banyan tree. So many squirrels are there in the banyan tree. And what did this white rat do? Yes, he made a friendship with a squirrel. And they often, that friendship grew very strongly, that they made some excursions among the branches. See, that figurative language, this is what we call this figurative language. They made some little excursions among the branches of this banyan tree. Then the squirrel started building a nest. At first, she tried building it in my pockets, and when I went indoors and changed my clothes, I would find straw and grass falling out. Then, one day, grandmother's knitting was missing. We hunted for it everywhere, but without success. Next day, I saw something glinting in the hole in the banyan tree. Going up to investigate, I saw that it was the end of grandmother's steel knitting needle. On looking further, I discovered that the hole was crammed with knitting, and amongst them all were 3 baby squirrels, all of them white. Yes. The squirrel, now the white rat and a squirrel, they made friendship. The squirrel started building a nest. At first, the first try, it was in whose pocket? Yes, it was that in the pocket of the boy. And when I went indoors and changed my clothes, what did the boy see? There's some straw and grass falling out. One day, grandmother's knitting was missing. See this knitting, the image of knitting. So one day, this knitting was missing, and we searched for it everywhere, but it's of no use. In between, meanwhile, going up to investigate, I saw that it was the end of grandmother's steel knitting needle. Oh my God! Where did that knitting see? Yes, it is in the banyan tree. They made a nest, and it was crammed with, it was decorated with this knitting, the same knitting which was stolen from grandmother's knitting box. Then I was so curious to know what's inside that nest. Oh my God! To his surprise, what did he say? Yes, very good. This the wool. There were how many squirrels? Yes, 3 squirrels, baby squirrels. What's their color? Yes, all of them white. They would wonder how did it happen? These white squirrels. It's not so common. Yes, they found out the reason. The next paragraph tells us. Grandfather had never seen white squirrels before, and we gazed at them in wonder. We were puzzled for some time, but when I mentioned the white rat's frequent visits to the tree, grandfather told me that the rat must be the father. Rats and squirrels were related to each other, he said, and so it was quite possible for them to have offspring, in this case, white squirrels. What do you feel? Very interesting. Okay. What happened? A strange thing. That's why this experience, it's a strange thing. It's not a common experience. This fight between this befriending with the squirrels, it's a common scene. Then this fight between this cobra and this mongoose, it's also a common scene. Then what about this one? Yes, it's a strange scene. Grandfather said, even that grandfather, it is for the first time he had seen such a white squirrel. And then to their further investigation, what did they find? Yes, grandfather told him that, oh, it is the offspring resulted in the mating between this squirrel and the rat. Then we were puzzled for some time, first of all. Then when I mentioned about this frequent meeting and excursion in the banyan tree, this what did the grandfather conclude there? Yes, it was definitely their mating resulted in the production of this offspring, that is a white squirrel. This is a strange experience he mentioned here. Okay, I hope all of you got all the points clear. Okay, here's the assignment. The boy was thrilled with the fight between the cobra and the mongoose. He jotted down his feelings and emotions in his diary. Imagine you are the boy and write down the diary entry. So are you in the habit of writing diary entry? Yes, good. Now, what are the features to bear in mind when you attempt a diary entry? Yes, it's a personal account. Now, take a look at the features of a good diary entry. First one, year, month, date and day. Second one, it's good personal. So, using first person narrative. We must use first person. It's a first person narrative. So, use first person. Then, it's a third point, it's very important. As far as a diary is concerned, we are pouring down our feelings and emotions rather than incident. So instead of writing or narrating the whole event, you just write or note down only the striking incident with feelings and emotions. That's here said. Narration of the striking event with feelings and emotions. Similarly, to make it more natural, you use variety of sentences. For example, questions. You can ask yourself some questions. Then, exclamatory sentences, etc. Then, last point, conclude with a resolution. So, whenever you write a diary entry, there must be a resolution. What's the resolution? It's a New Year resolution. We know that term. It's very familiar to you. It's a strong decision. Then last point, a comment about the day. So how was that day? This is all about a good diary entry. So hope everything clear. You just try to write the diary entry. Okay, thank you.